What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about entitled gamers. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and also before we get into everything, I just want to say a big shout out to Square Enix for sending me a review code for Forspoken. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited to dive into this game. We're going to be starting the game on Friday, and every single Friday until the game is done, we're going to be having Forspoken Fridays. Party up in here. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is my first AAA review code that I've ever been sent, and I'm on cloud 9. So let's get into this video. I really honestly think that when we talk about entitled gamers, in quote, because it's something so silly. Like, how can you be an entitled gamer? What makes you an entitled gamer exactly? You see, back in my day, we had it a lot more difficult. Autosave was not even a thing, I think, until like the mid 2000s. I think 2006. Right? 2006, around the time that Resident Evil 4 came out, I think that was when autosave was just starting. These kids, they don't know the struggle of having your mom call you for groceries and you need to go with her to pick out the right cantaloupe and you haven't saved the game yet and you're just sitting there and you're just like, I need to fight this boss before I can save anything or I'm back to square freaking one. They won't know that struggle. They won't know whenever you have to change over to the second disc, but you have to save first or else everything just goes out the window. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. I'm not anywhere joking, okay? Whenever I talk about 2 discs, it's not like the Cyberpunk 2077 where there's so much game they had to just put all the game onto 1 disc and then they had to put the actual like game that you play on a second one because you have 1 game for one disc for uploading and 1 disc for purely the game. I'm talking about where you had the game literally on 2 separate discs. It's a lot. It's a lot. Why do I still have these? Because this is my childhood. So when we talk about gamers' entitlement, we're talking about the fact that when you saw stuff like Resident Evil 0 back in the early 2000s, when you see magic spells being cast in a video game, when you see different magical, incomprehensible things, to a child's eye back in the early 2000s, that was everything. That was the epitome of awesomeness. When gaming started to get more advanced and more high tech and things started to have actual budgets like movies or an album being produced, then we started to see the growth and we started to see the production of just like anything else in the entertainment industry, really. I think once we started to get more motion capture into games and games started to be more churned out kind of like on a conveyor belt, we started to see the mass production of people asking for more than I think what even some of the game developers were currently even capable of, because we had ideas and we had concepts that we wanted to see realized, but as children you don't think that that can ever happen. As teenagers you think that, oh, this is just all fantasy land and we don't think that this can actually be in a game. We don't think that we can play as Geralt of Riviera. Like we don't think that any of that is possible, and it became a thing. You know, in Forspoken you have a character that is like, I just move shit with my mind. I just move shit with my freaking mind. Back in the early 2000s, that was a dream of ours. That was something we could have only dreamed of. Like, and now that it's possible, and now that gamers have experienced just a melange and an array of different types of games, they got greedy. If you've experienced hundreds of titles, you know it all. You know what all the different variants are. You have magic, you have fighting, you have combat, you have all these different types of games where it leaves no room for surprise. Everything is all laid on the table, all the cards are dealt, and every gamer expects there to be a new level, a new height, a new something. And then once that ceiling is reached, then they're going to reach for the next thing and the next thing. So everyone is not going to be satisfied with everything because there's always going to be something better. Then you had a game that came out in the 80s called Sweet Home, which was basically Resident Evil's predecessor. It was a game that inspired Resident Evil back in '96. And Sweet Home was the first of its kind. It included notes, it included the inclusions of puzzles and different characters and a motive besides just picking a ball around a screen and eating things like Mrs. Pac-Man. We've gotten to such a level of gaming of where everything is high tech. There's motion capture. The games make more money than film and music combined. It has become a multi-billion-dollar thing of where any game that is produced, it gets talked about like the latest movie with Tom Cruise. There is a stake behind gaming. There is an audience, and there are people who want always the next best thing. And I think that's where the gaming community's downfall is. No one is ever happy or satisfied. And I think that that can be a good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing. Because if we think about it, if we're always, pushing for the best and pushing for more, we're always finding out and being innovative about new and different things. But if we're never satisfied with anything, then any game we ever play is always going to be a crapshoot. That's why it's very important to be in the moment when you are gaming. Understand that you are putting your hard-earned money into something. It's different for content creators than it is for consumers, which I completely understand. I get that. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at how big of a backlog we have. I don't care if you're a content creator or a consumer, just look at how big of the backlogs that we have, man. Look at how many games we have at our fingertips. We will never be able to complete every single game in existence. Think about that for a second. There are so many games, we will never be able to complete any of them. Our backlogs will most likely outlive us. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm 30, right? A lot of the games that I want to play, I will never be able to play, and we just have to realize that that's okay. So I think when it comes to gamers and how they feel and what their I want to say what their objective is in terms of gaming. You get a lot of gamers who just want to chill, have a good time with games, and that's really the majority of them. But there are a lot of gamers who are just entitled, and when they want what they want when they want it, and that's unfortunate. But you guys, that was it for this video. I hope this was, just an interesting rant, interesting topic for us to discuss. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Be nice. I don't want to see any sort of vile stuff, or I will have a bone to pick with you. I'll throw a hot dog at you. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. But you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, you guys.